everybody. I'm still here. I'm still kicking. I'm doing some movie reviews tonight. You better listen up. Here it comes. Hey dudes, this is B Jr. from Endurance Productions doing another movie review this evening. I'm going to review one of the Wes Craven films that I actually... See, let me do a little disclaimer here. Let me say a few words about Wes Craven movies before I even do my review. Wes Craven is kind of like held in the same regard here at Endurance Productions as Tobe Hooper. They're they made some very good horror movies, and they've made some very movies that I just really don't watch hardly at all. They're very hit and miss, Wes Craven, Tobe Hooper, to me anyway. I respect them as filmmakers, and yes, they do make some good products. You can't get better than Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original Nightmare on Elm Street. These films are great, okay? Last House on the Left is good. You know, the list goes on. But like I was saying, Wes Craven to me has always been kind of a hit and miss director. I mean, you make the original Nightmare on Elm Street, Last House on the Left, the one I'm going to talk about this evening. Then you make things like Vampire in Brooklyn. Why? Yeah, I don't even want to go into that. That's another review for another day, if I get to it. What I'm going to talk about tonight is one of the ones that I like of Wes Craven's. I managed to pick up a used copy of it here lately, and I don't know why. I've just never really sat down and watched this one in a long time. It is, of course, without further delay, The Hills Have Eyes, the original one from, let me see here, 1977 if I'm not mistaken. Not the remake or anything like that, guys. We're going old school this evening. We're going to talk about the real deal. The Hills Have Eyes. Yeah, and there's old, what's his name, Michael Berryman on the front there, I believe. Yeah, check him out there. This one is an Anchor Bay release, and I'll get more into the DVD features in just a moment. Just to kind of go over the story. Most horror buffs out there have heard this. They know what the movie is. It's in many people's collection around the world, so there's not really going to... It's kind of like reviewing Halloween or the original Friday the 13th. What can I say about this that hasn't been said before? I'll do a quick rundown of the story, though. Kind of like an all-American type family. They go vacationing through the American deserts in the western part of the continent, and they take a different turn on their trip to California and end up on like an testing range for the U.S. military, and where they did like radioactive experiments and things of that nature. They get into some very bad trouble with like a lost family of mutant cannibals. It's the best way I can explain it. It's like a family of people, people that have been mutated, kids that grew up into these mutated Cro-Magnon style type cave dwelling type people that are living out there and scavenging, sort of like just cannibalistic scavengers. That's the best way I can explain it. They're just really messed up. They love to eat people and kill people and destruct and just kill things. It's just wild, crazy stuff, man. Just crazy. But they're living out in the wood, or out in the caves of the desert there. And this family happens upon these people, and they start being stalked by them. And it's just kind of, it builds suspense for a little while, but it really pays off. It's got decent special effects in it. It really doesn't pull any punches. There is a scene of human burning in there that was pretty effective during my younger years. Whenever I first saw this one when I was a kid, we rented it from the local video store. I remember when that part came up, I was like, dude, I mean, I couldn't hardly watch it. I was a little kid, and when the patriarch, the father of the family, gets burned alive, I was just like, oh Lord, I don't know if I can watch the rest of this. But it's one of those that I've stuck with over the years. Watching it now is kind of, I'll give it a fresh viewing the other night. Watching it now, it's kind of a little bit hokey, but I don't know, it's just got that special place in my heart for old Wes Craven movies. It's one of the ones that's really held up, I think, over the years. That's basically it. It's just about the family trying to survive against this cannibal family, these crazy people that are out in the desert trying to kill them and trying to rob them of their vehicles and scavenge all their belongings and food, whatever they can find, you know, basically. They even steal the baby of the family, and they're going to eat it. It's wild. It's got a wild tone to it, folks. Just to kind of go down some of the people in this movie, it does star Dee Wallace from other horror movies, Michael Berryman, James Whitworth, Susan Lanier. It's just like I said, it's an older effort by Wes Craven. You kind of get that feeling like it was one of his, since it is one of his first movies, he was in more of an experimental mode when he made this movie. He just picked out a few stories. I listened to the part of the audio commentary on this thing, and I got some insight from it, how they came up with the story. They just heard different stories. I think they based it on an old folk tale from Scotland, if I'm not mistaken, about these people that lived in caves and that were cannibals or something. And I don't know. But anyway, kind of going over the DVD features on this one, folks. It's an Anchor Bay release, which I'm always pro Anchor Bay, but they did kind of cheap out a little bit. I think there might be a better edition out there, but the one I have is a widescreen edition, 1:8:5:1 ratio widescreen. Audio commentary with writer and director Wes Craven and Peter Locke on this one, or producer Peter Locke. And that's the main special features. It does have a 5:1 Dolby surround sound mix and a digital theater system 6:1 sound mix on it. So it's got some good sound. I put it on the surround sound the other night and it does check out. It's an older movie. It's not to everybody's taste. It's kind of like I said, Wes Craven's kind of hit and miss with most fans, and some fans like it, some don't. This is one who does, and I've always kept. I'm glad to have at least a used copy in the old collection there. I don't care much for The Hills Have Eyes Part 2 that he did some years later, but who knows? Maybe I'll get it, watch it again, and like it. You never know. And more importantly, guys, you guys check it out. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment below. Draw your own conclusions, and I'll see you next time. Take care, guys.